Hi, how's it going? This is Resident of Collinwood, and I'm here to do another Halloween character retrospective on Michael Myers Monday. Today I'm doing the one, the only, Dr. Sam Loomis, played by the late great Donald Pleasance. Also played by Malcolm McDowell in the Rob Zombie remakes or movies, whatever you want to call them. I'm going to primarily focus on Pleasance's character. Um, so I'm not trying to ignore Malcolm McDowell's character. But I just want you to know I'm going to primarily focus on Donald Pleasance's character and the way he portrayed it throughout the franchise. I think the greatest thing that happened with throughout the Halloween franchise was Donald Pleasance being in these films. I really enjoyed the sequels. Um, Donald Pleasance was just always such a joy to watch, and his character portrayed it so well. Um, I said in a previous video, we know very little about Dr. Sam Loomis. And I do feel that it is time to get into the history of one Sam Loomis. This guy knew so much about not just evil, but the psychology of evil. Um, and it leads to, was it simply a degree that helped him know that? In my opinion, in my retrospective, I dare say no. It wasn't just that diploma. It wasn't just that psychology degree, or even the doctor's degree he got. To me, it's things in Sam Loomis's life that he may or may not have experienced. And I think, the best way a character can uh, know what something is before you know how the world works, before you know how what evil is, what good and evil is, you have to first know yourself. And I feel the best representation of yourself is your parents. And I feel probably Loomis studied his parents. Also, I feel Dr. Sam Loomis, they based this on Donald Pleasance's real age. So something you could have Dr. Sam Loomis do is see the Holocaust. Maybe he was a part of the uh, group, the soldiers who rescued people from the concentration camps, rescued, you know, the Jewish community from the concentration camps. The things that happened to those people, the people who didn't survive, even the people who did, was just despicable. I mean, and you talk about a whole nother level of evil. That's what that was. And to me, that would be the perfect example of maybe just how Dr. Sam Loomis knew evil, really. He had to see something to up close and personal to match, what evil was. What exactly is evil? What's an evil act? And to me, there was no more evil act. And I'm sure that there's been other evil acts, but to me, the biggest evil act was probably in the the Holocaust. And I think Sam Loomis, that's something he could have seen for his sense, a fictional sense, but also a real life sense. That, the Holocaust was a real thing, but every now and again, you gotta mix fiction with fact. Every now and again, you gotta use something that you go, holy shit. That would have been something he could have saw, or maybe he did. Um, he knew Michael Myers was pure evil. He knew, you know, Michael Myers was this evil force. And Loomis knew so much about him. I mean, he spent the most time with Michael Myers. He spent 15 years with him. And we have yet to see what those 15 years were like for them. It's been sort of touched on in the original Halloween. Um, Again, I just think Dr. Sam Loomis is, in my opinion, he's the best protagonist ever in Halloween. I don't think there will. There will never be another Dr. Sam Loomis from the standpoint of Donald Pleasance, but I do think you could have a Loomis character, but in my money, they can't be Donald Pleasance. You got to be your own character, and I do feel that Dr. Sam Loomis, his ideology of what evil was, what Michael was, being pure evil, it's something he personally knew. And he said he saw the devil's eyes, when he looked into Michael's eyes. I really do believe Sam Loomis knew the most about Michael Myers, but with any character, I've done with these retrospectives, and you can go back and look at them. There are times I look at the characters and I go, is there something the character might have missed from their standpoint, in my opinion? I do. There's a sequence with Donald Pleasance's character, Sam Loomis. I do sort of question, and it's this, you know, he seems to think that, Michael Myers, he says Michael's pure evil, but he makes Michael at times seem, I would say, unaware of what Michael's doing, and that's where I would disagree. That I don't believe Michael Myers is unaware of what he's doing. I do believe, you know, again, I could be wrong just as much as I'm saying the character's wrong, but I do love Donald Pleasance's character, Dr. Sam Loomis. I do enjoy the character very much. But again, I've often said you can't be afraid to call a little bullshit on what a character's saying just because you love the character. I've called bullshit on Barnabas Collins before a little bit, and I'll probably redo his retrospective to prove my point, because I know that people were like, you're calling bullshit on Dr. Sam Loomis? Not a lot, just, he says, he makes that Michael doesn't understand life and death. I don't agree with that totally. I think Michael Myers has all the understanding of life and death, and he knows exactly what it is. Because to me, I think there's something more to Myers that Loomis might have missed. I think the pure evil thing is spot on, but sometimes with characters we limit evil. Sometimes we don't see beyond the capable evil. We know the evil Michael's capable of, the murder, but sometimes there's a greater evil from a person's presence, and I do feel that's something I feel Sam Loomis maybe didn't delve into with Michael at times. Michael, again, I'm not sitting here shitting on the character. Sam Loomis understood that character more than anybody ever in Halloween history, for sure. I really enjoyed Donald Pleasance's performance. I really enjoyed the way he portrayed Dr. Sam Loomis throughout the entire franchise. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. I wish, we could have got him a little longer, but unfortunately he passed away in real life, and, they never recast the character from that standpoint. And that's why I say it is time to bring a new Loomis character forward, because that we have yet to connect to a male protagonist the way we did Dr. Sam Loomis. I think there's been good attempts. I really enjoyed Josh Hartnett's character. I enjoyed Freddie Harris's character. But though, too, those characters aren't Dr. Loomis, and I don't want another necessarily Dr. Loomis. I want, if you have a Loomis, that character needs to be their own. They don't need to be what Donald Pleasance portrayed. That was what Donald Pleasance portrayed Sam Loomis as. It's a lot like I've said with, casting Barnabas today. Like, you don't need to be Jonathan Frid's Barnabas Collins to be Barnabas Collins. Be your own. But what I'll say is, with Dr. Sam Loomis, if they were to if they, no matter what they do after this set of movies, if they decide to completely reboot the franchise and they do another Dr. Sam Loomis, um, I would be curious to see not only who would play that, how would you portray that now in these modern times, because I wouldn't believe that you would go all the way back to 1978 to reboot this franchise again. To me, you would need a more modern day Michael Myers, a new Michael Myers, if you will, touched up on Halloween. Do I want them to reboot it? No, I don't. I really don't want a rebooted Halloween. That's sort of what this is now. It's like a rebooted Halloween series. And to me, to wrap up this character retrospective of Dr. Sam Loomis, do I feel he's the greatest protagonist in Halloween? Yes, I've said that. But I do believe, from a character standpoint, no one understood who or what Michael was better than Dr. Sam Loomis. No one. Um, so, again, that's just how I feel about the character. Again, one of the best protagonists ever. You guys have a happy Michael Myers Monday. I do hope they get into Dr. Loomis's past. I think there's many actors who could play a young Dr. Loomis and they could do this with. But I really do hope they do this. Because really, I think that really, from a standpoint of what's left for the characters, to me, that I agree with something Justin Bain said, that definitely that is something that needs explored, and it is way past time to explore it. They definitely need to explore it. Um, I'm gonna leave a link in the description box for his radio hour, the Justin Beam radio hour. Um, so I listen to his radio hour. Very, very, very good podcast. Very great interviews, and shout out to him. Shout out to Darnell Weeks, the Myers Fan 25. I'm going to leave a link in the description box for his channel. I've learned so much. I'm always willing to learn something new about the Halloween franchise, and Darnell has always provided great insight um, about the franchise and about the characters and about just the franchise in general and his thoughts on it. And I've learned a lot from the Myers Fan. I'm no, I'm old, but you're never too old to learn something, and that's something I'll always take away from these experiences on YouTube. You're never too old to learn something new. So like, share, comment, subscribe. You guys have a good Michael Myers Monday, and I'll see you next week with, Michael Myers.